All right, Shalom. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakwadash. Double honors to my apostle, elders, great millstone of the well. Peace and salutation, all the Akim pushing this truth without righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. This your brother Tazma Deborah coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. And through the spirit, want to do a real brief lesson based off this TikTok video, which a lot of brothers in the spirit, we've been knowing this, but you know, we got new followers, new listeners, and just got to bring it out, just how this devil Esau Edom, so-called white man, have weaponized hip-hop to use it against the Negro Latino Native Americans, and primarily the Negro, the tribe of Judah, to basically get him in this state of destruction, which you see going through the black communities, and also the native, Latins and the native communities, because why, Judah's the head tribe and the rest of the tribes follow after Judah. But with him weaponizing music, our people was in that mindset of being brute beasts, being unruly, you know what I'm saying, that state of destruction. But it just shows you how the Lord really put the curses upon our people when you look through the black, Native American, Hispanic communities when it comes to this so-called rap music, man. And before I play this clip, this is off the copyright fair use disclaimer of Section 107 of Act of 1976. I'm not using this for any monetary gain. I'm using this for educational purposes only. Under the Copyright Act of 1976, fair use, Section 107.
Bullshit was started to combat conscious rap, bro. But I'm gonna keep this shit alive, bro. It's crazy.
You know what they told him? Minister, when we come with a conscious song, they strike it down. And the Jews who be sitting in the room, because they are the A&R directors, they decide what goes to the radio. Listen at what they said. Don't your people call themselves bitches and hoes? Don't you think that's what they want to hear? Don't you think they want to hear pimping? So you want to feed swine to our people. When they was listening to hip hop, they was listening to conscious rap.
Public Enemy, Ghetto Boys.
See, gangster rap started out against them.
Against the police. They was going.
Yes, and he's right. See, with the gangster rap and all that stuff, when they were speaking out against the injustice that was going on in the black communities, man. So they were speaking out against all the atrocity that was still taking place, man, and how the police were just locking Jacob for no reason, and the unjust and all things like that. So they was rapping against what was going on, man. When you look back in the day, that's what rap was. It was basically speaking out and being conscious and speaking out against the system. But he's going to keep going and showing you how this devil weaponized it.
Right at the police?
Well, they flipped it. And they made us start rapping against each other. And it went downhill from there, brother. Because now hip hop is the Pied Piper for leading our children to Satan's world.
And he's right. And that shows you that the curses cleave unto our people unto this day. When you read Deuteronomy 28 chapter, past the 15th verse on down to the 68th, show you all the curses that are upon our people, man. That I shall be evil towards our brother, even amongst our women. That they should be evil towards their husband and their children. And they use the rap music to use that to destroy our people, man. To set up these different agendas with the nasty people agenda, with the baby mama, baby daddy agenda, with the Section 8 agenda, all these different agendas that our people brag and boast about was set up and promoted through rap music. And the adultery agenda through R&B.
See? So now a little girl, 7 years old, is shaking her butt in front of men just getting out of prison. See? A little boy want to be a gangster instead of a doctor. See?
And see, Esau knew that Jake, see, when Jake was getting out of slavery, we had the good jobs and things like that. You read about Black Belt, Black Wall Street. Our people was building up our own communities. It was Edomites that was crying out and upset that these so-called Negroes and Mexicans and Native Americans came out of slavery and they're building up their own community. They're thriving better than us. And these Edomites was upset about that. And they had to figure out, they keep coming up with redlining and Jim Crow and all these various things. Esau always had different plots and schemes to keep Jake oppressed in the system so he wouldn't get out of that mind state of thinking he was better than a slave. Because when they got out of slavery, Jake was thriving, man. But Esau didn't like that, so he always come with different agendas and things like that. Even with the civil rights movement, that was a agenda to keep our people asleep, man. Keep them as a base.
I mean, the music is a death style. It's not a lifestyle. And now the rappers are getting caught up, and they're rapping about murdering and killing and catching a case, RICO acts.
Catching the case. Yes, sir.
But they only go after the ones when they let them get a certain amount of money, they take it back by hitting them with a case, brother. Because around the artists now are informants. They're putting informants all up around the artists and got them continuing the beefs. Because
And he's right, man. You can watch the interview with Cat Williams. He explains a lot of these so-called rappers and people around him. A lot of them are CIA informants, which we've been on that through the spirit. But this is based for new listeners that didn't know that. A lot of your so-called rappers and entertainers, celebrities that's pushing that black culture and bullshit like that, and that so-called in the community, a lot of them are bought and paid for, man. A lot of them are agents, man. A lot of them are agents for this system, man. They're agents for this system. Why you think they made the movie Black Messiah? He had agents around him. Fred T. Hampton had agents around him. They're always agents in the midst of the nation of Israel, man, because our people are a bunch of sellouts, man.
Because the beefs is what's making money. And this is why people like Kendrick Lamar is putting a dent in their game.
Which he's control opposition at the end of the day. Kendrick Lamar still control opposition because at the end of the day, Kendrick Lamar is talking about he's an Israelite and they shut that shit down. You don't hear him speaking about that no more. He was on the biggest platform, stage known to man, the Super Bowl. You ain't hear him speaking about that. So they shut that shit down. He's control opposition.
See? Because the hip hop industry was taken over by those Jews who own prisons. And if you remember,
and he's talking about Amalek, the Ish people. They control the prisons. They control the schools. They control the hospitals. They control every aspect of this so-called existence in this life. Why? Because that goes to Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. And the Lord said we'll have war with Amalek forever, man. And Amalek is he's the chief house of Edom. He's the chief house. Just like Judah's the chief tribe, Amalek's the chief house of Edom, man. He's the one control of what you see and pushed out through the media and things like that, man. They control the media. They control everything around here, man.
Minister Farrakhan revealed this, that there was a secret meeting in Hollywood where Homeland Security, the FBI, met with some of the big hip-hop moguls.
And then when you go through the history with so-called Hollywood and FBI and CIA, they've been using Hollywood for CIA for predictive programming, man. Disney and all that, they use that for predictive programming because Disney, he was working for the FBI. He worked for the FBI and the CIA and things like that to push out propaganda through the movies and things like that. So what more so in hip hop? What more so with BET? What more so in Rap City and all these various things they had? They used that to set up agendas for our people, man. All these shows on BET, that was nothing but agendas. How Jake was going to dress, how he was going to act, how he was going to accept the nasty people community and things like that. That was all agendas, man. Even amongst the Latin tribes. Even amongst the Native American tribes, there's a bunch of sellouts, man. Don't get it twisted.
Told them that they own prisons and they intend to fill those prisons. And they use the music.
And they own prisons called the prison school pipeline. If I mess it up, brothers, put it in the comment board. But that's why the schools look like prisons, man. Why you think it's all set up that way? It's all set up that way. Because they know from a certain age, majority of them little niggas in them classes going to end up in that damn prison system, man.
See? As a gateway to lead our brothers and sisters to crime.
And he's right. He's right. It was always set up that way. It was always set up that way. This is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 26. And it says, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. And the righteous represent the Negro Latin Native American, the 12 patriarchs of Israel, the 12 tribes. It's more excellent than his neighbor. Who's the neighbor? Esau, Edom. And it says, but the way of the wicked seduceth him. And that's what you see with our people, man. That scripture say, envy not thou oppressor and choose none of his ways. That's what you see with our people. Our people are so oppressed. They don't care about selling their soul. They don't care about selling out. They don't care about making music to keep our people dumbed down and things like that. Because it's all about getting that bag, man. You hear plenty of rappers tell you how they went from conscious rappers to telling them that they can't rap about that. They got to rap about killing and stealing and things like that. Dehumanizing our people, man. Even with the women. About being bitches and whores and things like that. They have to push that. Or not, they won't get that bag, man. And that's why it tells you, man, but the ways of the wicked seduceth him, man. They see that money in front of him, Jake get weak, man. Because Jake ain't never seen a lot of that money in front of him. They get weak. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 62. In verse 4, they said they only consult to cast him down from his ecstasy. And that's what you see, man. And who's him? The Israelites. That's why they come up with different agendas, different psyops and things like that, man. The trial out of committee and all these things. They set up how Jake's gonna dress during this year and all these things, and who they're gonna be, listening to, and who they're gonna vote for Barack and all these various things. These are all various different agendas they set up, man. They're going to push them more to the Democrat Party, the party that hates them the most. They're going to be voting for them, not even knowing. They have all these different agendas set up around Jake to keep Jake on that lower state, man. It says they delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. Salah. And that's Esau, man. That's Esau, man. He set up these different agendas and swear they're for Jake and swear they're going to help Jake. You see how when Biden got in office, he told the CIAA to basically just shut up. He'll get to them when he get to them, basically. And he basically said he wasn't going to help them. But they had you Jakes run down to them booths, voting for them and shit like that and putting your trust in them. But it was all set up for agendas, man, so they can pass and get these legislations and agendas through, just like Barack Obama. So they can get these legislations through for the nasty people. And who they use for the Cadillacs and get them on the top, you got them Israelites, man. You Israelites, man. They always consult to have different agendas for you Israelites, man, so they can push it. So they make you more filthy, man, more in the mind state of a heathen. So they can go and be the accuser of our brother when you read Revelation 12 and 10 and say, look at them, look what they doing. They eating swine, they committing adultery, they killing, they murdering, they doing all this. That's what Esau, he's a damn accuser of our brother, man. And that's why they set up these different agendas so they can present it to the Lord like you shouldn't deserve the birthright. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 12. And it says, the wicked plot against the just and gnash it upon him with his teeth. And that's why they constantly plotting against Jake. They constantly plotting against Jake. As soon as Jake come out the womb, they shooting him up. They trying to decalcify his pineal gland. They're trying to get you away from your power as soon as you come out the womb, man. And they get Eve to fall for it. They get Eve to take the Section 8, the wick, to get the father out the home. They set up all these different agendas as soon as you're born to keep you in this slave mentality, man, so they can constantly rule over you without knowing who you are, man. They constantly plotting against the just, man, the wicked, man, Esau, Edom, man. That's his MO since you're born, man. And that's why the Lord has a special plan for this devil, man. That's ICBM missiles. The Lord gonna destroy his ass. The book of Sirach. Let me see. Sirach chapter 13, verse 4. It says, if thou be for his profit, he will use thee. And that's what you see. Using Michael Jordan, all these celebrities, all these guys, he will use them because it's for his profit, man, for his gain. To keep you Jakes in that dumbed down state that you want to be a ball player, a football player, a musician. He ain't pushing you to be no doctor. He ain't pushing you to be a scientist. He pushing you to be entertainers, man, to be court jesters. And that's why he always said with these different court jesters that so you'll idolize them from a kid up. Come on, man. And he says, but if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. And you see with a lot of entertainers what happened to him. After he get done with them, he get rid of them. Look at Whitney Houston. Look at Luther Vandross. Look at all these different entertainers, man, how he got rid of them. A lot of Jakes died broke and things like that. Look how he did damn R. Kelly and Diddy, man, not justifying their wickedness, but look how you need them no more. So he set the agendas up so he can go ahead and set that snare and trap. So y'all be in a state of confusion and laughing and scoffing at him. But at the same time, Esau Edom, he used them to put Jake in that mind state, man. Even though them niggas wicked, all them Hollywood niggas is wicked, all them celebrities wicked. But that's how he does, man. He used it for his own profit and gain. And then after he get done with you, he just throw you out there for the wolves, man. He says, if thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yeah, he will make thee bear and will not be sorry for it. And he won't. He will strip you for everything, man. Your rights. That's why he gets you to sign on contracts. You sign your rights over. He gets you to sign your name in blood. How you doing all these 50 acts and have you on video So if you try to expose him, he's gonna put you on various different social media platforms, being exposed for doing all these nasty atrocities. Then he gonna take you for the courts and lock you up. Look at all these jakes, man. He does. Esau got a well-oiled machine how to keep you jakes in that dumbed down state where you can't basically try to come against him, man. But that's how it is when you make that goddamn contract with the devil, man. It's gonna be for no profit. You shouldn't be making contracts with the devil. He's the goddamn devil. Let's get right one more. This is Proverbs chapter 18. Not ending with this. I think I had something written right there. It's Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. And it says, death and life is in the power of the tongue, and he that loveth shall eat the fruit thereof. And that's why he gets you to promote death. That's why he gets you to promote adultery. That's why he gets you to promote all these different agendas in your rap songs and your music videos and your movies. That's why he does that, man. And then what do you see the fruits thereof, man? Look at our people. Look at the state of our people, man. Look at the state of our people, man. Thugs, bitches, and hoes, divas. They don't know the Lord. They curse the Lord. This is the state of our people. They put Esau, Edom, and money above the Lord. This is the state of our people, man. This is why Esau, Edom set up the music industry and the clothing industry and all these different industries to keep our people in a lower state without knowing who they are, man. So he can push out his agendas, so he can try to get back his birthright. But at the end of the day, we know that's not going to happen. But, hey, that's why we keep telling you, Jakes, why are you trying to get in Hollywood? Why are you trying to be a rapper? Why are you trying to get in that industry when you see the fruits thereof, man? When you see, hey, being a rapper, you already know you're not going to live long. They're going to put your ass to death. But that's the mind state that Esau's been pushing on our sons and daughters and our people since birth, man. But, operators our Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Shai. I want to close it out by saying, Call, Hello, La, Yahweh by Shem Shai, by Shem Kakwadash. Double honors to my apostle, elders, a great millstone to rule well, and peace and salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth and our righteousness and sincerity. Shalom.